Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. This is a combination recap and preview of tonight's game of the Golden State Warriors and a recap of the embarrassment of last night's game in Sacramento. As I posted last night, I was prepping to do the recap. I was just so thoroughly annoyed by the game. It just couldn't follow through on it. My apologies for that. So handling that right now. I'm going to talk about that game and then we're going to preview the upcoming game right now. But welcome into the Knicks-Verse. This is your first time here. You've been here before and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit that thumbs up button for me. I really appreciate that. You can share the video and drop your comments if you're watching this later on. Definitely want to hear your thoughts and feelings about anything Knicks, especially what happened last night. Shout out to the chat. We got Juan Carlos. What's up, brother? Thank you so much for joining me here. He says right away, I have no faith for today's game. Hope I'm wrong. Hey, you have every right to feel that way, especially after what happened last night. Yes, it was truly an embarrassment last night. Let's get into it. Today, we are facing, luckily, the great thing about sports is, especially sports like basketball and baseball, you can get back on the horse right away. And the New York Knicks play tonight in San Francisco against the Golden State Warriors, who have won 3 out of their last 5 games, while the Knicks have lost 3 out of their last 5 games. The Knicks will be shorthanded. They will be playing without Mitch Robinson. He'll be out tonight, and as Ian Begley tweeted this out, Mitchell Robinson will be out tonight as its second game of back-to-back. Robinson hasn't played both games of back-to-backs this year as part of New York Knicks medical team plan. Also, there was some speculation that Jalen Brunson was being held out versus Sacramento, so he could play tonight. In my experience, Brunson always plays when he's hurt and medically cleared to play. So if he was able to return to the court last night, I think he would have. I don't recall a game where Brunson sat out when healthy in order to be ready for the next game. I agree with Ian 100% right there. Also, just to note as well, a positive spin on this. Fortunately, according to Tommy Beer, who wrote in his newsletter, fortunately, it doesn't appear to be a serious issue this time around. It's the same ankle that he hurt earlier this season. He missed 2 games, and that he missed about a month of games last season. The beat writers on the ground in California reported that Brunson walked out of the locker room without a boot or crutches and was not limping, which are all obviously encouraging signs. And he is listed as day-to-day. So maybe he might be back as early as Saturday for the Phoenix Suns game at MSG. And I hope so, because my son will be attending that game, and it will be his very first Knicks game at MSG in his entire life. So I hope for him, Brunson's there, and I hope that the Knicks show up. There were tentative plans for me to have attended last night's game in Sacramento. Man, am I lucky I didn't go to that game. I would have been... It would have been horrible. It would have been a horrible experience. But I hope it's the reverse experience for my son. This Saturday, the Phoenix Suns face the Knicks at MSG. But tonight's game is against the Warriors, and there is some good news. Mr. Landry Shamet will be available for the Knicks tonight. That's right. He'll be suiting up for the first time since November 22nd when he sprained his shoulder versus Orlando and versus Wendell Carter Jr., who has basically joined the dirty player list, my dirty players list. Yes, welcome back, Shamet. Happy that he's here. Wow, we have very few people joining us here tonight. I guess that last night's game was such a debacle that it has squashed the enthusiasm of Knicks fans, and rightly so. Rightly so. Really, there is no, it's not excusable in any way, shape, or form. And I actually have something to show you guys. Well, before we get to that, I'll show you this. It's just utterly unacceptable what happened last night. And it all begins with this play. Yes, We're going to watch this play now larger. Yep. You saw that. You saw that. If you did not watch last night's game and you didn't see that, but you heard about it, there it is. This inexcusable. That's right. Here's what Tommy Beer said. Here's the full court view of Cat's inexcusable lack of effort sequence in the second quarter. And Mike Brown referenced this in his post-game interview. And he said that they even talked about, I think they even watched the play at the half. And the Knicks still came out with that horrific effort in the third quarter. Yes, they made, just, to steal Tommy Beer's words again, a fake comeback in the fourth quarter. This game, they were down 25 points at one point. Yes, Brunson, strained his ankle, however they want to call it, and left the game about this 5-minute mark or something. But this is the Sacramento Kings. This Knicks team, I am very confused about what I saw. Very confused. Now I'm going to address the Karl-Anthony Towns situation. And if you had watched the live that I did a couple days ago, the Knicks report, where I talked about Cat, I mentioned that he does something about him doesn't seem right. Like his he lacks the fire and desire that I'm used to seeing from him, and that his light had dimmed. And I think it's possible that it is a contract situation, that he possibly feels underappreciated by the organization because they did not extend his contract. And when he looks around at his teammates, especially in the starting unit, they all got their extensions. McCall got his, OG got the max, Brunson, we know, and yet, and Hart already, Hart is signed, yet Cat is eligible for an extension, was eligible for an extension, and didn't get it. Now, I don't know, there's nothing been reported about any discussions or any determinations about that at all whatsoever, but it is very much possible. To me, this feels like a mental thing, especially when you watch a play like that, where he loses the ball. First of all, he's the one who commits the turnover. Nothing happened. It wasn't like he was fouled and didn't get the call. No, that was a Cat orchestrated blunder, and he fell to the floor. When he was getting up, he did slip a tiny bit, but he should have immediately gotten up and sprinted into the back, into the other end of the court, and he would have gotten that long rebound from Josh. I think Josh Hart is the one who swatted it out. He swatted it out because he expected Cat to be there, but he wasn't. He was still in the backcourt. I don't understand how someone can have that brought to their attention and they don't act upon it. To me, it's incredibly confusing. Incredibly confusing. And Juan Carlos, you're absolutely right. Those were the kind of plays Julius did and it got him traded. Yeah. Yes. And it's ironic, or maybe not so, that they were traded for each other. There's been a lot of discussion about whether you can win it all with a player like Karl-Anthony Towns on your team as your number 2 option, or 1A, 1B, however you want to look at it. But he's clearly the number 2 option now. Last season, I think it was it was very debatable that it was more of a 1A 1B situation. And when you look at the performance that he put last season compared to this season, the numbers, it's like night and day. He's averaging 3 less points per game. He is actually, let me pull this up because I had it here. He's definitely not the same guy that he was last season. There's no doubt about that. And the Knicks need that. That's what they traded for. Last season, he was averaging 24.4 points per game. This year, he's averaging 3.5 points less. He's at 21. That's a big drop-off. Last season, he was just from the 2-point, from inside the arc, he was connecting on nearly 57% of his 2-point attempts. This year, he's closer to 52%. That's a that's a big drastic drop right there. And then 3-point shooting. Last season, he made 42% of his 3-pointers. This year, he's at his worst of his career since his rookie year. He's at 35%. The rebounding is there. He's averaging 11.2. It's down from last season, 12.8. But this is by far the worst statistical season of his career since he was a rookie. Actually, even worse than he was a rookie, honestly. When you look at the e-field goal percentage, he's averaging 52.5% e-field goal percentage. That is 6 points less than last season. That is by far the lowest he ever had in his career before this season was the 2020-21 season and his rookie season, where his e-field goal percentage was 55.5%. This year, he's at 52.5. He's not a great defender. He is a really good passer when he passes. So where he has to be great at is on the offensive end. And last night, when Jalen Brunson left the game hurt, if it were me, I would have risen the fuck up. I would have met the challenge. Instead, his former teammate, Precious, did that. Precious had the game of his life last night against his former team. He cooked Cat. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. And I will tell you, I referenced this before. I saw him when he got, I think he fouled out. It was a game where the Knicks were getting blown out, and he's in the sidelines, and he's like laughing and joking with his teammates. That was like maybe 3 weeks ago, when the Knicks were struggling badly. I mean, the Knicks are in the midst of that right now. It's bad form, man. It's very bad form, bad body language. It's bad everything. So it brings you back to the question, can you win a championship with someone like Karl-Anthony Towns? You know, I don't know him personally at all. Obviously, I've read some stuff. I've listened to some videos where he talks. He seems like a very intelligent guy who has experienced a lot of grief in his life. And we don't know what's happening with his personal life, but he feels like the kind of guy where what's happening off the court impacts him on the court. Maybe he's going through something in his life right now. And then you couple that with maybe he's feeling disrespected by not getting the contract extension. And then there's all the Giannis rumors. And for all we know, he definitely was, if you trade for Giannis, it's going to include him. Constant speculation about that. Maybe all of that is just affecting him really negatively right now. and he's letting it affect him on the court. That's not acceptable, though. You've got to show up. You've got to show up. Could be mid-season malaise. It could be, he's playing through some pain as well. All of that could be true. But your attitude and your effort, that's got to be there night in, night out. You are one of the leaders on this team. You are the highest paid player ever to wear a New York Knicks jersey. And you must show that it's worth the money. And right now, he's not. Can you win with Karl-Anthony Towns? Well, I think the answer is obvious. Yes, you can. I mean, we won last season. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals. We hadn't been there in 20 years. And that was with him. You could say, oh, well, Brunson. Well, yeah, of course. But Cat was a part of that. If Cat truly was an impediment, that wouldn't have happened. And we were so close to getting to the finals with Karl-Anthony Towns. And then the season before that, when he was with Minnesota, they went to the Western Conference Finals. And they beat a good Denver Nuggets team. And they had lost 3 straight to those Denver Nuggets. They won the first 2 and they lost 3 straight. Nuggets only had to win 1 of 2 to advance. And the Timberwolves held. And they won those games to go to the Western Conference Finals. And Cat was a part of that. Was he the best player? No. But he was a key part of that. So I don't believe that you can't win it all with Karl-Anthony Towns. I think that it's just the facts don't bear that out. We can be frustrated with him. We can feel like, oh, he's never going to change. He's going to be a whiner to the refs. All of that stuff can all be true. And yet his talent is so superior, offensively especially. I'm really talking offensively. His talent is so superior that he can win you a game on his own. In fact, he was pivotal in getting us the first win in the Indiana Pacers series in the Eastern Conference Finals. He was pivotal in that. So this talk about where you can or you can't win, no. You obviously can, and so does Leon Rose believes that as well. That's why he traded for him. Now, the Giannis talk is going to stir up again, which is perfectly natural. Giannis gave some interview to The Athletic about it. He says he's not asking for a trade, and he never will. He doesn't want to be that guy. But I kind of call bullshit on that, to be honest with you. His agent works for him. If he really had a problem with that, he would tell his agent, hey, shut the fuck up. Stop doing that. So he's trying to have his cake and eat it too. If a trade presents itself and Leon Rose decides to pull the trigger, okay. But I still believe that this team, fully healthy, and tonight we're getting Shamet back, a key piece of our bench rotation. We get him back. Mitch, lately, at least the past couple of games, has been playing very well. He's looking more like the dominating Mitch that we were used to. He's kind of shaken off the cobwebs, loosened up the joints. He's starting to feel like that kind of guy. But he's not playing tonight because the goal is the playoffs. Now, it may also be possible that because the goal is the playoffs, these guys sometimes lose focus during the regular season. It's possible. Everyone's human. I hope what happened last night is a major wake-up call. Because it wasn't just Cat that was terrible last night. It wasn't just Cat that was terrible last night. He had plenty of help and being terrible last night. In fact, I mean, you can see here, Ian tweeted this out. He says, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, and Karl Towns combined to shoot 16 for 47 in loss at Sacramento. Kings get 32 points on free throws. Brutal night for New York Knicks, which lost Jalen Brunson in first quarter to ankle injury. Now, some of you might say, oh, George, when Brunson went down, the team just, I think the team was shook. The team didn't look good even when he was playing. They did not come out with the intensity that is required to win an NBA basketball game. This idea that Sacramento, you could just walk over them, is ridiculous, especially since they had actually won the last two games. They got a taste of victory, and they just wanted more, and they proved it last night. Cannot take any team for granted, especially a team with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. Yes, they're flawed players. It's a totally flawed team. But on any given night, they can rise up. And a guy like Precious Achiuwa, who I had major problems with him last season. He actually was not good for us last season. He was not. Couldn't hit a three. Didn't play. His defense was sometimes head-scratching. Did he give us something good in the playoffs before that against the Sixers? Yes, he did. But not last year. Last year, he was just not doing it. But he did it last night. And shout out to him. I'm glad. I always liked him as a person. And I believe that, he has a place in the NBA. And I'm glad he did well. I just wish it hadn't been against us, the Knicks. Juan Carlos says, I feel the new offense is uncomfortable for him. Talking about Cat. Last season, Brunson handled much more of the ball and created space for Cat threes. This year, they've been moving more of the ball to find corner threes from OG and Mikal Bridges. I don't see why he would feel that uncomfortable in it. It's an offense that's designed to create space, but it's dependent upon him as a key defensive like he's supposed to stretch the defense by taking 3-point shots, which he just hasn't. This year, he's averaging the fewest amount. Actually, he's averaging the same amount this season that he did last season. But we wanted him to shoot it more last season. But he was making more of them. He was shooting he was connecting on 7% more. Wow. 7% more 3-point shots. 42% compared to 35% this season. But the year before that, when Timberwolves went to the Western Conference Finals, he was averaging 5.3 3-point attempts. And the year before that, he was averaging 5.7. And 2 years before that, 6.3. And the year before that, he was averaging 8. So now all of that has dwindled down to under 5. Well, you're not going to stretch a defense if you're shooting 35% from 3 and you're barely shooting it. The volume is down. And that is why the Knicks offense is hurting. That's why. Now, last night, no one could make a bucket. That's for sure. No one made a bucket last night. Ah, man. That was truly an abomination that we saw last night. I don't want to get to that yet. Yeah. Here's the box score from last night. Josh Hart, 10 points in 31 minutes. OG Anunoby, 0 for 6 from the three-point line. 0 for 6 from the three-point line. That is crazy. Towns took 1 3-point shot. He watches Brunson leave the game He played only 5 minutes, Brunson. Leaves the game. He shot Towns in 33 minutes of play, attempted as many three-point attempts as Brunson did in 5 minutes. Now, I watched Wally Szczerbiak talk about the game, and he said, you know what? Sometimes these games happen, and you just have to just flush it. Well, it's going to be tough to flush this one. But let's hope that that's true, because no one particularly had a good game except for Mitch. He picked up in 19 minutes. He had 11 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds. Finished with 8 points. He was even 2 of 4 from the free throw line. He had a productive game. But look at Deuce, 4 of 14, 2 of 8 from the three-point line. Mikal Bridges, 6 of 20, only connected on 6 shots on 20 attempts. That's shooting 30%. Not a single Knick scored 20 points or more. Mikal was the closest with 19 points, but he was a minus 11 in his 36 minutes of play. OG, who is one of the very best plus-minus players in the entire NBA, was the worst last night with a minus 16 in just 27 minutes of play. So the whole team shit themselves last night. But none more so than Karl-Anthony Towns. 4 rebounds? That's all you could attempt. 4 rebounds? He did come up with 5 steals, shockingly. But 4 rebounds? That's it? Wow. It's crazy. All right, let's look at tonight's game. It's going to start pretty soon. Here are the team comparisons for the Warriors and Knicks. The Knicks averaging 119 points a game. Warriors are at 115.5. Knicks are shooting 47% from the field. That's 14th best in the NBA, where the Warriors are down 25th, shooting 45.7%. The three-point shooting. Knicks are still the 3rd best three-point shooting team in the NBA, despite shooting terribly last night. They're averaging nearly 38%. Where the Warriors are at 36%. And assists, the Warriors do move the ball. They're 8th in the league, 28.5%. Knicks are 11th at 26.9%. Defensively, the Knicks lead in rebounds. They lead in protecting the ball, not turning the ball over, only 13 a game. That's 4th lowest in the NBA, so 4th best. Block shots are pretty much even, the two teams. And assist to turnover, the Knicks lead that, but they're pretty close. The Warriors beat Portland 119-97 in their last game 2 nights ago. They did lose to the Hawks on Sunday, 124-111, but they beat the Sacramento Kings. They destroyed the Sacramento Kings 137-103, the team that we got destroyed by. We were down 25 points. I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, man. Let's look at where is here are the injuries. So Mitch is out tonight for injury management, which is a shame. Brunson is out, though he is listed as he left the game. Brunson was not limping and not in a boot after Wednesday's game, is considered day-to-day, so that's really good news there. And John Jenkins, what's that? I don't even know who he is. He's listed on the Knicks. I don't even know who he is. That's pretty funny. Check out the standings before we wrap this up. The Knicks are still in 2nd place in the East, but now they're 4 games behind the Detroit Pistons, who still don't play. Actually, I think they do play tonight. They do finally play tonight. The Celtics are a half a game behind the Knicks, and Raptors are 1 game behind the Knicks. So it's getting pretty clustered up here. I was really hoping the Knicks would have been making a run during this time, but nope. Right now, all we got to hope for is the fact that Mr. Shamet is back, and that's a good thing. It's a really good thing. Before I sign off, I am going to talk about this here. So, SNY put out an article today, bold trade proposals for the Knicks ahead of the trade deadline. Okay? Well, let's look at those. This is one of them. Knicks get Cam Thomas, and Nets get Gershon Yabusele and Tyler Kolek. I'm not really thinking that that's a possibility. I think other teams can offer up more. Cam Thomas can definitely score the ball. I don't think this one's really viable. Then he put up this one. Knicks get Zubac, and Clippers get Mitch Yabusele, the 2026 Wizards protected first-round pick, and the 2032 Knicks first-round pick. Zubac is not playing as well as this. He's having a down year compared to last season, but he's still a very effective player. I've always liked him. We did well the last time that we got a Clippers center, which was Isaiah Hartenstein. But giving up Mitch at this point, I would be hesitant to do this one. I would be hesitant to do it, personally. Then there's this. Knicks get Jaren Jackson Jr. from Memphis. And the Grizzlies get Josh Hart, Mitch Robinson, Pacome Dadier, a 2026 Wizards protected first-round pick, the 2030 Knicks first-round pick swap, the 2032 Knicks first-round pick, up to 5 second-round picks. And he wrote, something short of a Giannis Antetokounmpo trade, but in the same vein of one last all-in push to make the finals. This would absolutely decimate New York's asset pile, but land them an all-star two-way player that solves a few of their problems at once. That would require Jackson returning to some of his past glory as the season as this has been a down season for him. Same with Zubac. If he can tap into the player who won Defensive Player of the Year in 2022-23 or averaged 22 points on 38% shooting from three last season, the Knicks could make real noise with him. Losing Hart, a core piece of the team's identity and best friend of the team's best player, won't be an easy pill to swallow, but he has flaws, size, and how defenses treat him from beyond the arc. Same goes for Robinson, who is limited offensively and can't make free throws. Jackson isn't perfect, but he can be a defensive upgrade at the 4, make up for some of New York's lack of size, somewhat spread the floor, and slide down to the 5 at times if needed. He also happens to be a former client of Leon Rose, making him a more realistic target than one would think. The price is the price, especially with the return Memphis got for Desmond Bane. But if the Knicks feel their backs approaching the wall, and this is the trade that's available to them, why wouldn't they at least consider it? That's an interesting one. Pairing him with Cat and Brunson and McCall and OG, that would be an interesting one. You definitely would get much more offense from, I think he would play the 5, or Cat, whatever. They both share the court. But he would definitely give you much more offense than Mitch does. He's not a good rebounder, though. So we'd be losing out on that. And we're giving away two of our 3 best rebounders, Hart and Robinson. So we would be hurt in that area. But he can hit a 3. He has a post-up game, and he definitely is an excellent defensive player. So this could be interesting. Though, once again, I'd rather stick with what we have right now and bring in just some additional pieces to help plug some holes that are in the roster. Okay, and remember, Dink Pate. Don't forget Dink Pate. Okay, well, let's see if the Knicks can pull off a nice win tonight and help us forget that nightmare that happened in Sacramento. That's the best thing about the back-to-backs. You can get right back to it and right some wrongs. And let's hope that Cat, really took some time and looked in the mirror and saw someone that he didn't like to see. He looked in the mirror and he saw this. He's backpedaling when the ball, and then they make a 3. That was a 5-point swing right there. All right. Thank you for rolling up. Appreciate it all. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up button for me. Drop your comments if you're watching this later on. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go. Let's get this win tonight.